Let's begin in seated posture. We'll drop in with our one round of Om, and then we'll get into child's pose. So sitting tall, hands pressed together. Inhale deeply for Om. Release your hands down to your knees. Pause for a moment of observation, allowing any of the morning's dust to settle. Noticing your breath here. As you're ready, slowly make your way into child's pose. Before you get there, you may want to grab a strap so that you have it nearby for later in our practice. And make your way down to your most comfortable child's pose, whatever that means to you. So maybe you keep blocks under your hands to help open up your shoulders a bit more. Maybe your knees are together, or maybe they're spread very wide, letting your belly fall down between your thighs. Remembering here that a blanket under the hips is always an option. And for most of us, we'll gently engage our abdominal muscles, helping to round the spine slightly, dropping the tailbone towards the hips. Is there anywhere here that you can soften? Perhaps relaxing your jaw, maybe your shoulders. Another big breath here. And as you exhale, walk your hands off to the left side. You might place your left hand on top of your right hand, an extra anchoring sensation, and draw your right hip back and down in space. As you notice your breath here, send a lot of attention into the side body, the right side, feeling your ribs splay out every time you breathe in, creating space, and exhaling, softening into that space. As you're ready, with an inhale, return back through center and walk your hands off to the right side with an exhale. You might place your right hand on top of your left hand, grounding down. Anchor your left hip back in space. Expand with every inhale. Soften with every exhale. Breathe deeply. Exhale, return to neutral. As you inhale, slowly sit up tall. Come to sit on your hips, swinging your legs around. Scoot yourself to the center of your mat. Finding Baddha Konasana, so you might use blocks under your thighs here. Strap is handy. In Baddha Konasana, make a connection with the soles of your feet. You can hold on to your ankles or shins. Maybe you bring your fingertips out to the side, flipping your palms to face forward, sitting tall. Go wherever you feel most supported. Breathe here and think about relaxing your inner groin muscles. These adductors, the muscles that draw the legs back to the midline. Now's the time to let them go. If you used blocks, then maybe you explore releasing the blocks, seeing if you get a deeper but still pleasant stretch here. Notice your spine. Keep sitting tall. Another breath in Baddha Konasana. Send your left leg out long, keeping the right leg essentially in Baddha Konasana. The right foot comes to the inside of the left leg. If you have a strap you'd like to use, you can loop it over your left foot, keeping the left leg really active and engaged here. You might sit yourself on a blanket or pillow if that's more comfortable. Be sure that you're actively engaging your torso. Imagine lifting your hips, your ribs up out of your hips. Long spine, active left leg. Inhale. Exhale, begin to hinge forward any amount. Remember that you can pick up and move your belly out of the way, helping you to fold over your thigh. Maybe your hands make contact with your toes or foot on the left leg. Imagine pressing the foot into your hands as you hinge forward. Practice gazing straight ahead. Imagine the focus of a hunter. Notice your breath, maybe transitioning into Ujjayi Pranayam, the ocean sounding breath where we constrict the back of our throat. Two more breaths. On an inhale, slowly sit up tall. Bring your legs back to Baddha Konasana, folding the left leg in, soles of the feet meet. Sit tall for a moment. Shoulders stacked over hips. We'll send our right leg long. Left foot presses into the midline of your right leg, sitting tall here. Breathe deeply. If you're using the strap, we will loop it over our right foot, keeping the right leg very engaged. Kneecap lifts while the quadricep engages, pressing the leg into the mat, pressing the left foot into the right leg, lifting the torso up out of the hips. Our shoulders are relaxed. Inhale. As you exhale, begin to hinge forward. Remembering we can move our adipose tissue at any time. Hinging forward. You might make contact with the foot. Wherever you go, keep lengthening your spine with every inhale. Maybe softening deeper into the fold with every exhale. The left foot is still pressing into the right leg. As you do that, you might feel your right hip shift back in space. Janu Shirshasana. Keep breathing here. Maybe transitioning back to Ujjayi breath. One more cycle of breath. Release the strap. Inhale, sit tall. This time, send your left leg long, finding Dandasana, staff pose. Hands come back by your hips, pressing into the earth. The shoulder blades slide together and down. Heart lifted, core engaged, belly scooping back for spine. Begin to fold forward to reach for your right leg. Pick up the right leg. Left leg stays very anchored. With your left hand, grab around the heel. Right hand grabs around the toes. If this isn't possible for you, go ahead and use your strap. Go gadget arms. All of a sudden you can reach. All right, so with strap or hands making contact with your right foot, we'll begin to pump the knee back past the armpit and then re-extend the right leg. So pumping action 10 to 15 times. Worried more about creating movement and mobility here than alignment. You won't hear me say that every day. So keep breathing as we bring some movement into our hip joint. Now I'd like to say if you have any sacroiliac joint issues, any SI joint issues, then you might want to stay right where we are, or maybe even forego the next couple postures, returning to Baddha Konasana with the feet together. That's because we're going to be working with the pelvis isolated on one side at a time, and that can be uncomfortable if you have an unstable SI joint. All right. Hook your peace fingers of your right hand over your big toe if you can reach it. Otherwise, just use the strap here. Reach your left hand towards your left foot. You can also rest your left hand on your thigh. Wherever you go, both legs are extended long. Now inhale, draw your heart forward, long spine. Exhale, draw your right knee towards your right armpit. Archer pose. If this feels accessible, then return both legs long, hold on to your left toes, and then re-extend your right leg. Shift so you can see me. Archer pose. Now, your right leg might feel really heavy at first. That's normal. You can set it down, re-extending the right leg and returning to archer pose as you're able to. Our right arm, right forearm, and right shin are parallel to each other. Keep lengthening your torso and spine. Keep breathing and keep laser-like focus in front of you, like an archer watching its prey. I'd rather think of like Toby watching his ball before he pounces on it. See if you can hang for 3 more breaths, knowing you can always release and return. 2 more breaths. Lengthen your spine. 1 more breath here. As you exhale, set your right foot back down. Sit up tall. Returning to Dandasana staff pose. Notice any sensation in your body. Feel free to bring your hands to any areas that are asking for some attention or love. And then as you're ready, we'll pick up the left leg. Again, you can use the strap here if needed. Right hand loops around the heel at first, left hand over the tops of the toes. Sitting as tall as you can, we'll draw the knee back towards the armpit and then re-extend the leg. Breathing as we pump 10 to 15 times. Stay with your breath, a little more movement. And now exploring archer pose on the other side, Akarna Dhanurasana. So maybe you grab the left toe, big toe with your peace fingers. Maybe you're able to grab the right toe as well. Anchor down through your seat and then lift the left knee towards your armpit. Lengthen your spine as best you can. Breathe as you gaze forward. Notice your hips on the mat. They don't have to be perfectly level, but stay aware of your connection. Left forearm is as parallel to the left shin as we can make it. Support yourself in any way. Don't be shy if you need to adjust your stance or grab the strap. 3 more breaths. As you exhale, re-extend your left leg long. Sit tall for a moment, maybe bringing your hands back to your back hip joints. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Lifted torso. Exhale, hinge forward. Maybe widen your legs if need be for belly. From here, you can keep your spine long, or you can allow a curve to come into the spine, dropping your head. Another breath or two, feeling the sensations in the body moving around. Inhale, sit up tall again. Bring the legs back together if you separated them. Reach up overhead and hook your thumbs. As you hook your thumbs and try to pull the arms apart, you might find that helps you lift your torso even longer. Inhale, exhale, hinge forward once more. Any amount is great. Inhale, come back up. Release your hands, make your way into tabletop. In tabletop, start moving through cow and cat. Inhaling, you drop your belly, gazing forward. Exhale, push the ground away. Move in any way that feels good. 3 to 5 cycles of breath here. Imagine the movement originating from the very base of your spine, the pelvic bowl tilting. Tuck your toes, and when you come to an exhale, send your hips up into downward facing dog. Breathe here. Allow a generous bend into the knees to help you melt your heart back towards your thighs. Head and neck hang heavy. Push the ground away. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Hang in Uttanasana for about 3 breaths. You might slowly nod your head left and right. Guess that's a shake. On an inhale, rise all the way up, arms out and up, long spine. At the top again, you can hook your thumbs, reach even higher. Maybe let your heels float off of the mat, coming to stand on your tippy toes. As you exhale, heels soften back to the earth, arms float back down to your sides. Stand tall in Tadasana, mountain pose. Think of the back body anchoring down while the front body rises up. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, hinge forward, soft knees. Inhale, lift halfway, long spine, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward, hands touch down, right foot steps way back in space. Inhale, draw your heart forward. Exhale, lower your right knee, left hand comes to the inside of the left foot steps out to the edge of the mat. Coming through lizard pose, the left leg hugs into the left arm. Maybe you lower down to your forearms here. Wherever you go, draw your heart forward and keep awareness of your hips. Right toes can stay tucked. Maybe you explore lifting your right knee off of the mat, pressing back through your right foot. Inhale deeply. Exhale, if you lifted your right knee, go ahead and lower it. Left hand comes back to the outside of the left foot, walking the left foot back to neutral. Right toes tucked. Inhale, returning to runner's lunge. You might bring your left block to its highest setting. Pivot your right heel onto the mat, setting up for warrior two. Right hand comes to your right hip. Open your right hip and shoulder. Reach your right fingertips up overhead, extended side angle. Maybe you adjust the block behind your left foot to a lower setting if need be. Keep the connection to your right pinky side foot. Breathe here. You could stay here, or you can straighten your left leg, reaching your right fingertips to the sky, transitioning right into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Lean back in space. Anchor down through your tailbone, long torso. One more breath. Breathing, we bend back into our left knee, pivot on the right toes back to high runner's lunge. Inhale, plant your hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. You have an option to take chaturanga flow here, inhaling forward into plank. Come forward on your tippy toes. Exhale, lower down halfway, hover here. Untuck your toes. Inhale, find cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, find downward facing dog. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, we look forward, inhaling. Exhale, step or swing the right foot to the top of the mat, whatever it takes to get there. Draw your heart forward as you inhale. Exhale, drop your left knee. Right hand and block comes inside of the right foot as the right foot walks out to the right side. Finding your way into lizard pose. You might stay lifted on your hands. Maybe you lower down to your forearms. Wherever you go, look to lengthen your spine. Look to hug the right leg into the right arm. Maybe with left toes tucked, you lift your left knee off the mat and press back through your left foot. Another breath or two here. Right, we'll all lower our left knee in case we lifted it. Bring the right hand and block outside of the right foot, walking the right foot back to neutral. Inhale, lengthening your spine. Left knee lifts back off the mat. Runner's lunge. Now pivot your left heel down. Warrior two, set up. Right block may come to its highest height. Left hand to your hip. Open up to the left side. Left hand reaches alongside your ear, or left arm rather. Extended side angle. Breathe here. Option to stay or to straighten your right leg, shifting yourself into Trikonasana triangle pose. Left fingertips up to the sky. Right hand comes right under your shoulder. Keep the connection to the pinky side edge of your back foot. Notice the big toe joint of your right foot. Anchor it down. One more breath. As you breathe, bend into your right knee. Pivot on your left toes, returning to high runner's lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, giant step all the way forward into forward fold. On an inhale, lift up halfway, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down to rise all the way up, arms out and up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Turn to face the wide edge of your mat, setting yourself up for goddess pose. Toes pointing out, heels pointing in. Inhale, reach your arms up. We're like a big star right now. Exhale, bend your elbows, bend your knees, sinking down into goddess. Glance down, make sure your knees and toes are pointing in the same direction. Try to anchor down through your tailbone, still thinking of lifting your front hips up towards the sky. Shoulder blades slide together and down. You can pulse if that makes this posture more doable. 3 more breaths. Straighten your legs. Pivot on your heels so toes point forward. Inhale for a long spine. Exhale, hinge forward, wide leg forward fold. Let yourself decompress here. As you're ready, slowly sink your hips. You can pivot your heels in, sink your hips down, maybe passing through a little yogi squat before you drop your hips all the way to the mat. Feet planted down. Take your time releasing onto the mat in Shavasana. So this is an opportunity for some core work if you crave it. As you arrive, open your arms out to a T. Let your legs fall off to the left side. And then the legs come back through neutral and off to the right. Once more each side, noticing as your legs come to the left that you can relax your left gluteal muscles. A little deep tissue massage there. And come back through neutral, legs fall off to the right side. Legs back to neutral and then extend them long. Palms are flipped up to the sky. Allow yourself to settle in Shavasana, corpse pose. Follow your breath. Take your time deepening your breath as you savor the final moments of this morning's asana practice. I'll share a quote from Toni Morrison. She said, "If you surrender to the wind, you can ride it. If you surrender to the wind, you can ride it." Make your way back to a comfortable seated posture. Hands together in front of your heart. We'll close by sharing one long round of Om. You're welcome to do a monotone or the two-tone I've been playing with. Inhale for Om. Thank you for sharing your practice.